Hi everyone, happy April. Julie here from Sister Mediums, and I'm here to bring you this month's Oracle card reading. It's a new month. So happy that we're in spring. It's one of my favorite times of the year for so many different reasons, but I always look at it like flowers are starting to bloom, things are taking place and shape shifting around us, and it's just a beautiful time to evolve into the next thing. I did something a little bit different with this month's cards. I actually picked up seven out of many different decks that I choose to go to. And I held the cards and just kind of asked for what it is that people are seeking. What is it that our followers and that our clients really need to hear? And it's interesting. I pulled 11 different cards. There's a story obviously unfolding and to be told here. And I just feel it's important to follow what spirit lays out for us and what our guides and angels put before us. So I just want to go ahead and get started and give you all of this information and allow you to process it. I'm going to start with the first two cards that I pulled here. One of them is the journey and one of them is completion. So when I'm looking at the journey, this is really questioning where you've been in life, what you hold sacred, all of the wisdom that's come to you and that's been passed down. And I mean, she looks a little bit brokenhearted and she looks like she's holding her heart chakra, her heart chest. And really that's all about embracing both the good and the bad, the hurt that we've all been through, the childhood trauma. And this is why she's holding and hugging herself the way maybe a mother would a child, or the way a father would be protective of their child. And it's really just embracing every little life lesson you've been on. I always say you can't get to the next step without making room for it. And sometimes we are held back from pushing ourselves forward because we've yet to understand what those life lessons are. But sometimes the bad, the negative, the hardships that come to us, those are the things that we learn from the most. I tend to find we learn more from our mistakes and failures than we do from our successes. So this card is coming forward to say, soak up all of that wisdom, take it all in, and really just embrace all of your parts, okay? Everything that's happened in your life has led you to where you are right now. The next card that comes forward, and this is a great one here, this is called the completion. And this card is really all about saying goodbye and closing one chapter in your life in order to move on to the next, okay? It also calls in on the four cardinal directions here. You've got south, you've got west, you've got north, and you've got east. And when I refer to the cardinal directions, the south is always a representation of your past, and the west is a representation of your fears. The north is a representation of your present journey, and the east is a representation of where you're headed and in what direction. So in order to move forward or to continue on with this cycle, we need to come to a completion and close certain things. Okay. The snake in here is actually a beautiful representation of that. A lot of people look at snakes and think that, it's something that's negative, and snakes are always a representation of shedding your skin and being reborn, allowing room for that rebirth to take place. And so again, it's just honoring your feelings, honoring what's going on within you so that you can understand that this chapter of your life is closed and it's this one big book of life where we're ready to move on to the next chapter. Now with this, okay, the next card that I pulled, and this is perhaps where the completion lies. Maybe some of us are struggling with finding the room or moving forward to that next step based on this next card. Okay, so this next card is the peace offering. And this card comes forward. This is all about mending relationships, and that some of us are really held back from moving forward in life because we need to look at where we still have relationships that need mending, whether it be with friends or whether it be with family members, whether it be a part of our past that we haven't quite made peace with yet and are unable to move forward, or we have those blockages because we're holding on to a grudge, or we're holding on to that heaviness, or we're really hoping that that other person will step forward and say, hey, I might have hurt you, or I might have done you wrong, or in this particular instance, I take blame or I take fault for for it. And, she's really asking you to step forward and really look at where you can make peace. And even if it doesn't mean mending that relationship, but making peace within yourself and making peace within your heart, to really go ahead and do so. I always look at, what's going on in the card, and she's holding a bow staff. And to me, that's usually a representation of both a weapon to remind you that you're strong and also a crutch to lean on. Okay. So those first three cards are really powerful to me because they're really about embracing the things that have happened to you, and not to dismiss or omit them, but to, again, take them in and embrace them, because they are part of who you are. The things that happen to us, it's that trickle effect, and it affects everything we do and who we become moving forward. Okay. So those are those first three. Then the next three cards that were pulled all really had to do with ourselves and nurturing and taking care. And so this was the first one that came up. Mother Mary's telling us that we need to nurture ourselves, okay? To set time aside, whether it's in meditation or whether it's in prayer, whether it's getting out in nature, and really just, again, honoring the parts of us that feel maybe broken, or the parts of us that feel abandoned, or the parts of us that others don't love, or that we don't even love about ourselves, but to be kind and to be gentle with ourselves. The next two cards that went with that series, they're both very similar. Okay, we've got this one over here, which is the Medicine Guardian. Okay, be open to healing. And then we've got this one over here, which I just love. And again, it's healing the heart. And maybe this has to do with abandonment, and maybe it has to do with relationship, and maybe it has to do with just overall feeling very alone. But we can't love others properly or the way that we need to until we truly embrace and love ourselves. And that's what this is about. I find that so many people live this humble and noble life where they're putting others first. They're constantly doing, and we forget so often that in order to give the best versions of ourselves over to those that we love, we need to take care of ourselves first. Okay, so I want you to hone in on that energy for a little bit, and just take the time to do what you love, what makes you happy, what fills your soul. Okay. I also pulled clear quartz, and I was holding it while I was meditating on the cards. And, clear quartz is a master healer of mind, body, soul, and spirit, and in all things offers clarity. So if you don't have clear quartz, it's a great stone as a starter to just be able to meditate with and pray on, to bring in the things that you need in your life to help, again, mend not just your relationships with other people, but a lot of us have mending that we need to do within ourselves. It's all about that reflection and the parts of ourselves that we don't love, or the parts of ourselves that we have a hard time accepting. Okay. And that healing of the heart is so important, so that we can then pass it off to others, whether it be alternative medicine or traditional medicine, or other ways that you adapt to, or that you feel called to try. Okay. Don't dismiss that. Okay. It's all about being whole and complete. This next portion here, this was interesting because I was asking about relationships, and this is what came up. But I also felt very called to talk about career choices. Okay. And this is a series, a set of three cards here. The first card that I pulled here is the waiting game. And this is such an important card in this particular deck, because it really has us looking at perspective and looking at things from the outside. We're constantly waiting for things to shift and things to happen, and for someone else to maybe lay something in front of us that's going to manifest into something greater. And sometimes it's really about looking back and saying, well, what do I really want? Because I do have the power to shift that vibration. I do have the power to propel any decisions or any ideas into that next stage. Okay. So are we looking on the outside at our lives being abundant and fruitful and full of growth and, just happiness overall, where we're seeing the hard work and the harvesting of our hard labors? Or are we still in the planting stages where our seeds are kind of withering away and we're waiting for that growth? And, there's always work to be done under the ground and through those roots, and to get to the bottom of things. Okay. But just waiting for things to happen doesn't always work. Okay. Sometimes we need to push ourselves forward to be able to propel into that next state. So I asked about a timeline. And this is what came up a year from now. And it's really interesting because a year from now, you could still be in that same position where you're looking from the outside in, wanting and waiting for things to change. Or a year from now, you could be in a completely different position where you were. It's really all about free will and decision and up to you. And you guys know I opened up a new deck last month. I absolutely love the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And when I looked at them, this is the card that came up, and it was endless possibilities. So I kind of look at it like a year from now, your possibilities could be absolutely endless, whether that is with broken relationships, family, separation, divorce, whatever the case may be. It could also just be career, or it could be personal. You know, we could be at a point in our lives where we're really looking to work on ourselves and taking our energetic field and our aura and our vibration to that next level. Maybe you're in a state of sadness or depression, and you really just need to get out of that and propel forward again into something greater, finding your passion, finding your purpose. Okay, so when we're looking at this is all about that timeline. You're very much playing that waiting game. A year from now, your life could be exactly the same or completely different. And really endless possibilities. Okay, make a plan, start to journal, write out what it is that you want in life. What are your goals? Okay, if we don't make goals and we don't set intentions, things don't happen. And I'll give you this as an example. You know, I'll often have conversations with people who say, I really want this to happen and I really want this to happen, but I feel really negative about this, or I've lost all faith. I have no hope left. And that's really difficult because it's hard to say you want to attract certain things and you want to invest or manifest or put the intention out there for amazing things, but your train of thought or your mindset is still on that negative side. Okay, we need to tap into our third eye chakra right here and open up that crown, let that white light in, and really just think of infinite possibilities across the board. Okay, we are limitless. The only limitations that we have on ourselves are the ones that we give ourselves, really. Okay, there's lots of opportunity for self-growth. There's lots of opportunity to move forward with things. Next set of cards here. And, you know, for this one, I pulled the cards and then I went upstairs and I grabbed my celestite, because I felt like it was really important to just hold this one and meditate with it for a minute and just ask if this was what people needed to hear about. And this is really all about our guardian angels. Okay, so celestite is a stone that helps raise your vibration and raise your intuition. It's also a stone that connects with your guardian angels, and it's called celestite because it's very celestial looking. Okay, it's got those soft, warm blue hues of the sky, and when you hold it, it's just very calming. And this card really speaks to the fact that your guardian angels are with you. You're never really walking alone. Lots of loss in life, lots of death in life that we have to deal with. Again, closing that chapter and learning to move forward and live without our loved ones. And it's really getting to that next level state of mind where we realize, no, they're still with us. It's just a very different capacity, but I can call on them and I can get signs and I can get symbols and I can pray and I can open my heart and ask them to still, in essence, like lead you and to guide you forward. Okay. So I want you to, always keep in mind that your guardian angels and that your loved ones are really just a thought and a prayer away, never really not with us. And for those of you that are feeling that struggle, that anxiety, the message here being you are not alone. If you're feeling that heaviness, that stress in your life, holding a blue stone or something like celestite is very calming to the touch. And just a reminder, you know, we're all going through things. We're all working to get to a better state in our minds and in our hearts and in our souls, and to just be the best version of ourselves so we can help others. So don't give up on yourself. There's always someone out there who you can reach to for help or who you can talk to. Okay, I really just feel called to say that. Then the next card here that I pulled, and I love this card. Whenever Apollo gets pulled, it's really kind of like a knock on the head or a knock on the door, saying, "Hey, focus on what you do best. You know, don't worry about what everybody else around you is doing, and don't worry about the fact that maybe there's judgment there, or that someone doesn't like what you're saying, or how you're putting yourself out there. Stop comparing yourself and putting those limitations on what you do or how you do it, just because because someone else has more followers, or just because someone else might get more accolades for what they put out there or what they do. Okay, this is really about honing in on what makes you you and what you do best, and sharing that light and sharing that knowledge and sharing all of your creativity with other people. So, stop the negative mindset, stop the negative self-talk, and really just, again, make that list. Sometimes it's really about journaling and writing things down so we actually see, hey, I'm good at this and I'm good at that, and people come to me for this. And just thinking positive thoughts and focusing on what it is that you have to offer other people. Okay, you are a beautiful light in the world of others, and sometimes we just need to step back for a moment and reflect on how we look at ourselves or how we view ourselves. I'm going to do a recap of all of those cards because I want you to kind of see how they flow. It's crazy because when I pulled them and I laid them out in front of me, I thought, this is the story I was talking about earlier, is that, we're all on this crazy journey of life, and it's really just about embracing the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, the declines, everything. It's part of who we are. And part of that is letting go of people and letting go of situations and circumstances so that we can shed our skin and make room for new opportunities. Sometimes in order to do that, we really need to make amends and offer peace, or mend certain things, not just with others, but within ourselves. And then, speaking of ourselves, this is a huge message. Like, this cannot be a passerby here. When it comes to nurturing ourselves, taking that time, it's not selfish to say, I need an hour to myself. And it doesn't matter if you're out in nature or taking a bath or shopping at HomeSense. It's really just an hour of peacefulness, doing what you love, what makes you happy, and nurturing your soul. Okay, stop waiting for other people to make your decisions for you. Go out, let things happen. This waiting game sometimes of letting other people lead, it kills us. We need to put our foot down. We need to stand strong, and we need to make our own decisions. And just that reminder that a year from now, your life can be exactly the same as it is now. If we don't change our mindset, and we don't change our priorities, and we don't shift our perspective to what it is that we want, we'll still be stuck where we are. But when we do the work and we do put those ideas out there, and we start to manifest what it is we want to bring in, the opportunities are limitless. They're endless. Okay, for those of you who this month especially are really struggling with feeling like you're by yourself, like you're misunderstood, this message was for you. Okay, you are absolutely not alone. There is someone out there who's feeling exactly the way that you are. And from time to time, we all feel this way. Okay, I don't believe for one second, myself included, we always have moments where we feel like we're the only one going through something. We feel that nobody understands us. You just sit and cry or yell and scream, whatever the case may be. And we're all human. We do make mistakes, but our guardian angels are always there for us. We are not alone. Okay, and when it comes to just you, your life as a whole, what your focus should be this month, for the month of April, new beginnings altogether. Focus on what you do best. Okay, don't let anybody dim your light. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop that negative self-talk and build yourself up. Okay, focus on all the things that you do best. Now, I just want to read this for you because it really spoke to me today. Happiness is your choice. Okay, it's really simple and yet a profound truth that happiness is your choice. You don't have to wait for everything in your family or in your life or in your career or in your job or in your business to be perfect. You don't have to forego happiness until you lose weight or until you break an unhealthy habit or until you accomplish your goals. Happiness is your choice. You might as well choose to be happy and enjoy your life. When you do that, not only will you feel better about your faith, but it will cause God to show up for you and work wonders in such mysterious ways. To do so, you must learn to live for today, one day at a time. Better yet, make the most of this moment. And yes, it's amazing to set goals and it's amazing to make plans, but if you're constantly living in the future, then you're really missing what's happening in the present, which is right now. And every morning, every day, at some point, we need to wake up and just understand the blessings that we have and be grateful for all of that so that we can continue bringing that abundance in. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. I thank you so much for listening. Daniela will be back here for the month of May to bring you another card reading. And as always, you know, we love what we do. If it resonates with you, please comment below. If there's any help that you need or clarification, there's always an opportunity to ask those questions as well. Okay, I want to wish you blessings on blessings, everyone. Take care and have a wonderful month of April. Enjoy the weather. Bye.